It's a cool evening in Lagos and I am at Oma Gardens in Lekki Phase 1, and after dealing with traffic, I find gardening to be soothing. Again, let us knock off the myth that gardening is stressful. I actually find gardening as a form of meditation. So hectic day at work, hectic day in traffic. Oh, Lagos traffic sucks. So I figured I would come to the garden to do one of the favorite things that I like to do, using an electric toothbrush and a paintbrush. And I bet you're wondering, what is this crazy woman up to again today? We live in an urban jungle. We don't really have nice birds and bees and butterflies that are required to flit from flower to flower pollinating things. So we need to help the plants along and make sure that those flowers turn into fruit. And so I get to help my plants along by using these two nifty gadgets. First of all, every gardener should have an electric toothbrush. And what the electric toothbrush does, I use it on pepper plants, on tomato plants, and on eggplant or garden eggplants. And every time we see flowers, I turn my electric toothbrush on and I use it at the back of every flower. So at the back of every tomato flower, pepper flower, and eggplant flower. And what this does is it simulates the buzzing action of bees and it helps the plants to pollinate themselves. Brilliant. So electric toothbrush guarantees pretty much 100% success for all of the flowers to turn into fruit. Second one is a bit saucy. We're talking plant pornography here, people. So essentially you use this with plants that have male flowers and female flowers. Just like human beings, the male flowers and the female flowers have to come together to form a baby. This is simply to pollinate certain plants. So when you have plants like cucumbers, for example, that have male flowers and female flowers, the male flowers are just open and typically yellow, but the female flowers will have a little bit of the fruit and then a flower. So you need to make sure that the male flower crosses with the female flower. It's kind of saucy. So you take your paintbrush and then you wiggle it around in the middle of the male flower and take the pollen and wiggle it around in the middle of the female flower. And then what will happen is they will essentially, pollinate. And then the female flower that had the little fruit, the fruit is going to get bigger and then you're going to have massive cucumbers. This trick with the paintbrush also works with squash. So things like your melons, your pumpkins as well. And here's an amazing fact that I bet very few people know. If you take the male flower from any kind of squash, it will pollinate any kind of female flower squash. Does that make sense? But anyway, I hope it does. But make sure that you do this morning and evening, and then you're going to increase your chances of having fruit dramatically. I've spent the evening doing that, and so tomorrow morning I'm going to go and check and see. And the way you will know that they're pollinated is you start seeing the fruit getting bigger. And if it dies off, it means that pollination was not complete. So it's very, very simple. Every gardener needs to have a paintbrush and an electric toothbrush. So now that we have gone through now that we've gone through plant pornography, I think it's a good time for us to call it a night because it's getting dark out here. So send me your questions, send me your comments, let me know what's going on in your garden, what are you growing. Follow us, social media at Uzos Food Lab, subscribe to the channel, and then until the next time that I come your way again, happy gardening, and remember, grow one thing.